The Lion and the Mouse. Once upon a time, deep in the heart of a vast green jungle, there lived a mighty lion. He was the king of the jungle, known far and wide for his strength and power. His golden mane glowed in the sunlight, and his roar could be heard from miles away, shaking the very trees. All the animals of the jungle respected and feared him, but despite his greatness, the lion often felt lonely. He had no friends, for most animals were too afraid to come near him. He spent his days ruling the jungle, hunting for food and resting under the grand baobab tree, where he would take long afternoon naps. One such afternoon, the lion lay beneath his favorite tree, his belly full after a big meal. The warm breeze rustled the leaves above, and soon the great lion closed his eyes and drifted into a deep sleep. Meanwhile, in a small hole at the base of the tree, a tiny mouse was busily searching for food. He was a little gray creature with bright, curious eyes and a twitching nose. Unlike the other animals, the mouse was not afraid of exploring new places. That day, as he scurried around sniffing for seeds and nuts, he accidentally wandered onto the lion's enormous paw. The moment the tiny paws touched him, the lion's eyes snapped open. "Who dares to wake me?" he roared, shaking the ground with his mighty voice. The little mouse froze in fear. He looked up and saw the lion's sharp teeth and huge claws. Trembling, he quickly bowed his tiny head. "Oh, great king of the jungle," the mouse squeaked. "Please forgive me. I did not mean to wake you. I was only looking for food." The lion narrowed his eyes. "You are so small. How dare you walk on the paw of a lion?" The mouse swallowed his fear and spoke bravely. "Mighty king, I am sorry. Please do not eat me. If you let me go, I promise that one day I will repay your kindness." At this, the lion laughed, a deep, rumbling laugh that echoed through the trees. "You? A tiny creature like you? How could you ever help a great lion like me?" The mouse lifted his head and said, "You never know, great king. Even the smallest creature can be of help someday." The lion thought for a moment. He could easily eat the mouse, but something about his words amused him. With a smirk, he lifted his paw and let the little mouse go. "Run along, little one," the lion said. "But remember, you owe me a favor." The mouse scurried away into the tall grass, his tiny heart still pounding. Days turned into weeks, and the jungle remained peaceful. The lion continued his reign, hunting and resting, while the little mouse went about his tiny adventures. Then, one day, the jungle was disturbed by a terrible sound, a loud snap, followed by a deep, echoing roar. The lion had been walking near the river when he stepped into a hidden trap set by hunters. A thick rope net fell over him, tangling around his strong body. No matter how hard he struggled, the net only tightened, pulling him closer to the ground. "Roar!" he bellowed, trying to free himself, but it was no use. The birds flew from the trees in fright, and the jungle fell silent. All the animals hid, too scared to help their king. But not the little mouse. From his tiny home, he heard the lion's cries. His ears perked up, and without hesitation, he rushed toward the sound. When he arrived, he saw the mighty lion trapped beneath the net. The once powerful king looked weak and helpless, his golden mane tangled in the thick ropes. The mouse gasped. "Oh no, the lion is in trouble." Without wasting a second, he scurried up the ropes and climbed onto the net. The lion, exhausted from struggling, looked up and sighed. "Little mouse, what are you doing here? You should run before the hunters return." The mouse shook his tiny head. "I promised I would help you one day, and now it is my turn to save you." With that, the little mouse began gnawing at the ropes. His sharp teeth bit through the thick fibers, one strand at a time. It was hard work, but the mouse did not stop. Snap! One rope broke, then another, and another. With each bite, the net became looser. The lion, realizing what was happening, stayed still, watching in amazement as the tiny creature worked tirelessly. After what felt like forever, the final rope snapped and the net collapsed to the ground. The lion stood up, shaking off the remaining ropes. He was free, The lion looked down at the little mouse, his eyes full of gratitude. "I cannot believe it," he said. "You, a tiny mouse, have saved my life." The mouse grinned. "I told you, great king. Even the smallest friend can make a big difference." The lion bent down and gently lifted the mouse with his paw. "From this day forward," he declared, "you are not just a tiny mouse. You are my friend, and I will protect you always." And so the mighty lion and the tiny mouse became the most unlikely of friends. They spent their days together, the lion guarding his little friend, and the mouse reminding the lion that kindness is never wasted. From that day on, the jungle was not just ruled by strength, but by friendship and kindness as well. And as the stars twinkled in the sky, the jungle settled into a peaceful night, with the great lion and his tiny friend sleeping side by side beneath the grand baobab tree. The end.